Hi, welcome back to Movie Cranks. I'm Mike, and this guy here is Larry. And
Yes.
tonight we got to see the new Tim Miller action blockbuster.
Yeah, felt like a blockbuster to me.
Yeah, Terminator Fate.
Yep.
Terminator Fate goes back to Sarah Connor and a hybrid cyborg named Kenzie Davis have to go back and protect a young girl who may or may not be important for the human race in the future. And they got to stop a new Terminator that's out to destroy them. Larry, what did you think of Terminator Dark Fate?
I was actually pleasantly surprised. I think it had good pacing. It felt like a Terminator movie. And I have to agree with a lot of people. It is the third best Terminator movie. It's better than Salvation, Genesis, all the other ones.
So you would put it after 1 or 2?
2.
Okay. So your thoughts are that the first one was the best?
Oh, you're
one?
talking about which ones I think are best.
Yeah.
I don't know. I am an originalist. I do kind of favor 1 over 2.
Yes. I love 1.
1, 2.
That was my
3.
childhood classic. I watched that pretty much nonstop. T1, Terminator with Cameron created a amazing sci-fi movie for the ages. I mean, I don't even know if people really liked it at first, if it did a really good blockbuster job out when it first came out. But now it's like a cultural thing. It's like an icon of the sci-fi industry.
And if you think about it, the way that works, I think a lot of people who were born after they were made,
right,
and they see T2, T1, and all that stuff, they may favor T2. But I can kind of get, if you were born in the generation where T1 was the first one you ever seen, it's the first time you ever see this kind of craziness in a movie.
And it was the first time for me that Arnold really stood out.
I'll be back.
I mean, when I was a kid, the Conan movies and all them were one thing, but Terminator, for me, made Arnold.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, after that, he was my number one.
He's the reason why.
For good reasons.
Curls 10 hours a day.
Yeah. I mean, and all the lines and all the quips and all the funny parts.
Remember, Sally, when I promised to kill you last?
That's right, Major. You did.
I lied.
So this is about basically what happens after T2. Linda Hamilton has to deal with not knowing the future anymore.
Yeah,
they stopped it, the last one.
She changed the future, and it causes a butterfly effect. And that effect, the butterfly effect that it causes, affects her.
Yeah, it wraps up the whole human race. There's a whole new problem.
Yeah.
Because humans suck. Let's just throw it out there. We suck. Environment we're destroying. People we kill every day.
Didn't look like those Terminators were doing too well either.
No, they were not.
Everything was rubble.
I mean, it just goes to show that no matter what, they stopped Skynet, but they couldn't stop humans from destroying themselves again.
Exactly.
And we have this new creature. I call it a creature. It wasn't even. It didn't feel like a Terminator. It felt like an organism, like an alien. What did you think about the new Terminator?
I thought he actually did a pretty good job. I mean, I wouldn't put him on scale with Robert Patrick in number 2, or of course Arnold. But again, number 3.
No, Pat. Yes, very good point. He's probably my number 3 villain.
Yeah.
I think he was better than Genesis and Salvation
and T3.
Arnold in the first one was, to me, the best villain. And second, Patrick he did great.
Yeah.
The liquid metal body for the first time. To me, that in the T2, the liquid metal Terminator,
and that's something
was original. This still felt like a copy of that.
Yeah, because that's something you got to talk about. Really, there is moments of every Terminator you've ever seen in this movie.
That's a good point.
I mean, I saw Salvation, Genesis, all of it.
T2. Yeah. There was a lot of nostalgia moments that were mixed in, and it wasn't too crazy.
And I want to talk about some of those effects, because these face effects are getting good nowadays.
Yeah.
I mean, this one did it good. Better than freaking the one with Will Smith.
Oh, yeah.
They had the faces down. I mean, remember that first Terminator? What was it? Was it T3? Or was that Genesis? No, that was Salvation.
Which one? Where they did what?
Where basically, remember Arnold comes back and it's the first time you see Arnold as young Arnold
and
again?
they de-aged him?
Yeah.
Yes, and it looked a little waxy
hokey,
and
it
fake.
doesn't look hokey here.
No, here, The early him, they de-aged Arnold. Spoiler alert. They de-aged a few people.
Yes.
Except Linda Hamilton.
Yes.
She was still old.
No, she wasn't.
She wasn't old. She was just older.
Yeah, but no, in that one scene, she's not.
Tell me about what you thought about her.
I thought they kind of...
Was she a little too rough?
No, I thought she was almost at some point didn't feel 100% like Sarah Connor.
No, she felt like kind of a different person, but I think that's because she was dejected and ruined, and the character they put her in, the body and the person they put her in, had a real rough time. We can't spoil anything, and we're not going to, but there's a reason why she's a pissed off, mean old lady in this.
And you can understand why she's different, and she's not totally Sarah Connor anymore.
Yes. And you'll see that right in the beginning of the movie. There's a horrible thing that happens in the beginning that people will spoil. You got to watch out for it. I saw bits and pieces of this already. But I didn't care for the way they started this, but I liked the way the rest of the movie went.
Yeah, I thought the whole movie, except for maybe one or two little things that got in the way.
Yeah.
And the one thing is we're talking that we can't spoil.
Yeah.
It's
Arnold.
No, it was another character.
Yes.
And I think how would you say, the way they finalize a character in this movie.
Mm-hmm. The way it develops.
The way it develops, I wasn't too fond of. I thought they could have did a better job of putting that all together. I actually heard Edward Furlong was going to be in this movie.
Mm-hmm.
And I was actually pretty excited. I was like, oh, that's going to be cool. And
yeah, it's not like you think.
At the end of this movie, I kind of wanted to see fat Edward Furlong. I wanted to see him nowadays.
Oh.
And we never got that.
No, we did not. That's definitely something we did not get a hold of. I mean, I'm glad that they took the route they did. It looked amazing.
Oh, the effects look great.
Yeah. Arnold. Arnold was in this. He felt like it wasn't a cameo. This was not an Arnold cameo. This was not an Arnold playing a goofy character. He did a great job. I will give Arnold props for putting a lot of effort into making the Terminator he was and who he is in this feel real.
He felt a lot like the T-2 Arnold.
The original Arnold.
Yeah.
Yes. It wasn't the goofy, jokey Arnold or anything from recent movies or any of that.
Oh, man. And how nice was it to see Arnold.
Action Arnold.
Be a badass.
Yes.
To literally lift that other Terminator up, slam him down, throw him around.
Serious. Like the character. I know Arnold didn't go flying through the air, but
I don't know about that.
The CGI and the effects were so good, it made Arnold look like an incredible badass.
He's like, Arnold didn't fly through the air. I'm like, wait, there was that plane scene. If you see the movie, you'll understand what I'm talking about.
Yeah, that's what I meant. He wasn't going flying across the plane.
That was a funny scene, though.
He was very believable. I liked his story. There's a whole story behind him and how he became. And some of the people's ideas online, the rumors were kind of true. There were some that were way wrong. All I can say is I liked what happened with Arnold. I like the idea.
The only thing I had a problem with the Arnold character is
timeline issues.
There's a lot of convolution in here where I was just kind of like, I don't know if that would work.
You're supposed to blank out the other movies altogether. You're supposed to go from T2 right into this.
Yeah, because there is little things in here where you'll go,
but
that just doesn't work in the timeline right.
No.
But if you really just kind of open your mind up, some of it actually
just let it go.
Yeah,
you just got to let it in.
And some of it actually does work with a timeline.
Yep.
So
Mackenzie.
This is the character that when I was watching the trailers, I was like, no.
Yes, and we'll talk about that too.
No.
She actually played a battle-hardened military person that I thought was kind of weird and off-putting at first in the trailers, but she actually was a real person.
Yeah, she just augmented.
She wasn't a robot, she was augmented, so she had feelings, emotion, she felt pain. She was just changed. And I liked her. I thought she did a great job. Her way of being half human, half robot worked well.
Yeah, like I said, I was actually worried about the character. She proved me wrong.
Yeah, I thought it was going to be a big, woke nightmare.
And it's not.
And I got to say something. I think from watching other YouTubers trash this movie to hell and back and the 50,000 movie reviews that came out weeks ago saying how it was going to be horrible, I think we got to just put that
I think this is a movie that's going to affect a lot of people in different ways.
Yeah.
Some people are going to get confused in the timeline. They're going to get mad. They're going to be like, oh, it doesn't go right. Everything's messed up. And then some people are going to be like, "Oh, I didn't like this character, or I didn't like that character."
Well, some people are going to be mad at the female leads.
Yeah,
I mean,
to me, I just felt like this has Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yes,
it has Linda Hamilton. They are who they are. They don't sugarcoat it or
no, they
try
play
to change
badasses.
things. They're badasses.
Yeah,
and
it was like the Ripley. It was the Ripley style badass where they didn't have to say they were badasses.
Exactly.
They didn't have to go, look at me, you know. It was what they did.
And I'll say there is 2 different segments of this movie.
Yeah.
And I don't really want to spoil it, but the character that I believe her name's Natalia Reyes plays, Dani. Mm-hmm. There's kind of 2 different versions of the character.
Yeah.
There's one version I liked.
The present version.
And then there's another version where they kind of show her in a different timeline that I was just like, I don't really like
it didn't
that.
feel believable.
No.
And she was probably the weakest character. In my book, she was the weakest character out of all of them. She didn't have the range of anyone else, Arnold, Linda, Hamilton, any of them. She felt a little wooden. She wasn't quite believable for me. She did a fine job. I mean, I would say if I had to give her a rating, it'd be like a C. She did an average job.
Yeah.
But when you compare her to the girl that was in Dr. Sleep, no comparison.
Yeah, and Dr. Sleep, that's just a kid. This is like a 32-year-old woman. I'm not sure if this is the person I want to see the future of the franchise going forward.
No, and that's what worries
put on their shoulders.
Yeah.
But there is a way they do end this where I don't think it's going to be that.
Do you hope that they end it here?
Not
With
really.
just Linda Hamilton and her. Do you think they can carry a movie by themselves?
I think some of these characters, they did leave some things open to really bring other people back.
Yeah, they did.
I mean, just to say it, Arnold Schwarzenegger. They leave it open the way they explain how he's here now.
Yeah, there's all these possibilities.
Yeah, there's different possibilities. You could bring other
There's different timelines. There's different, like,
I mean, you can bring
versions.
him back. You can bring him back as a villain again.
Yeah, there's different T-800 or T-100s or Model 101s, all that. There's different versions and different times and all this different stuff that affect everything. I liked them when they were in a dam. A hydroelectric dam. That part was amazing. They were in like a prison complex for Border Patrol. That was amazing as well. They had some great scenes, but just the setting I felt was a little weak. The CGI was amazing. We have to say we were wrong. We were definitely wrong.
Yeah, the trailer. They're saying that trailer did not.
I think it was unfinished.
Movie forward the way it should have been put forward.
I think the trailer was unfinished. I think they paired it with the slow music, which was wrong. And I think it was unfinished. I think the CGI went through another process.
Or maybe they caught some word from us and they changed some things. Because there's there's a part in that trailer where the guy's, he's got that little metal rod, he's jumping in the air, and I'm like, oh god, that looks so bad.
They changed a little bit of that.
But in here, it's happened so fast, you don't even see it.
And the slow motion, they took a lot of that out, it felt like, that was in the trailer, and the slow camera movements all were erased, it seemed. It felt fluid, it felt fast, the action was great, the explosions and the gunfire were incredible. Just like T2, and it felt like a lot of movies nowadays where they have a big car chase. They had a hell of a chase.
Yeah, they got a couple of them.
They got helicopter chases, plane chases. They've got, we should talk about the future, came back. They had future weapons and soldiers and planes.
Just like we were saying in the car over here, this does, like, and we said earlier, borrow a lot from each and every movie.
And it's better than the Salvation future. It looked real.
Yeah, it definitely, to me, I felt a lot of Salvation.
When you see the cities in the future, when they're just rubble, like you saw in the old movies, this one was... it was so realistic. I thought it was real. I mean, it was like, where the hell did they shoot this? I mean, it was crazy. The burned out buildings and everything looked great.
Yeah, and then you got the team of soldiers. They did their job.
The future soldiers. That was fun. I had a great time. I love the future scenes in these movies. And these are great action scenes.
And there is one scene. This is an action scene that happens in the movie. And it's not really a spoiler.
It's in the trailer?
It's when they go to the bottom of I guess it's like a lake or a river.
Oh, yeah, where they hit the water.
And I'm just sitting there thinking, going, why they seem like they're so calm. I mean, yeah, they're panicking, but they're very calm for being at the bottom of a river with a Terminator coming after you. And I'm just like, because me personally, I'm not saying I'm the worst swimmer or the best swimmer.
Yeah.
I don't think I would have ever made it to the top.
No, they did a scene that, you know what that scene reminded me of? There's a scene where they basically splash down hard into a body of water, and they're underwater in a vehicle, and the water is completely going over them. I mean, it was like all over. I think Jurassic World did it better. Jurassic World 2, where they were in the bubble, the round sphere thing, when it was going down in the water and it was cracking, those kids were freaking the fuck out. But these guys were just like, oh, what do we do? Let's get out of here.
Yeah,
I think come on.
What they were talking about, my biggest issue at that point would have been, how am I going to get to the top of this? How is this not going to kill me?
And then we have to say that the weapons were great. They had a lot of cool weapons, grenade launchers and rocket launchers and machine guns and just amazing.
And even though it is CGI for most part, it looks practical.
Yeah, the bullets were amazing. I mean, they make that look so real now. It's unreal. I mean, when you got bullets flying through people and blood, and we should say it is R-rated. This is not for children. There's a lot of people getting stabbed through the face, stabbed everywhere. There's a lot of stabbings.
This was R?
Oh yeah.
It did not feel R to me.
Oh yeah, it was definitely R. I mean, there was F-bombs, there was stabbings. I mean, just brutal killings.
Yeah, there was an F-bomb in there.
And people set on fire. I mean, there was a lot of that. So definitely R-rated, not for the kiddos. But I guess, is there anything else we've left out? Or
I don't feel like I
the storyline was cool. It's basically the same, the chase.
Yeah.
It's him after them.
I think what I
That's
like most about the storyline is it doesn't completely ignore the other storyline.
Right.
It lets you know that
it's
happened.
It's a continuation.
And you see some things happen. And this is the butterfly effect.
I personally like the fact that nobody was a superhuman except for the bad guy. I liked how Arnold had flaws. Linda Hamilton had flaws.
Mackenzie Davis was a superhuman.
But she had major flaws at first and at the end. Yeah,
she's not like a Terminator to the point of like Arnold is.
She's a human, and they couldn't get her robotic parts to function just right. I'm not going to spoil anything, but she had some serious problems during this movie when it came to being a super soldier. It took everything out of her. That's all I'm going to say. And I liked that. I liked how no one came off as because they made Mackenzie in the trailers look like a super hero, like Superman.
Yeah, they give the movie stakes.
That's it. Stakes. You think people are going to be hurt or killed at any moment, and that was great.
Yep.
So, Larry, I'm going to give you my final rating first.
All right, let's do it.
I really enjoyed this. I do put it as number 3 of the all-time list. T1, T2, and now this. In that in mind, I had a great time. I probably would see another one of these in this series. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to give this movie B-.
And just so you know, it does actually open up for more maybe future Terminators.
But it did not sequel bait.
No, not totally.
It felt like a complete movie.
Yeah. But for me, I thought the acting was great. I thought a lot of things I thought I was not going to like about the movie actually ended up being some of the stronger parts. I think Mackenzie Davis did a great job.
Yep.
You know, she felt like an augmented Terminator.
I liked her.
I like Arnold because I've liked Arnold since I was 10 years old, and I will for the rest of my life.
Arnold looked really good. He looked good. He looked jacked in this. Yeah. The facial hair was great.
To me, I do feel like Sarah Connor's character took a little dive, not much, from T2, T3. Even though this is a better movie than T3.
Yeah.
I agree with him. I would definitely put this as my number 3 Terminator movie. 1, 2, and 3.
Yep.
Even though I know a lot of people probably go 2, 1, 3.
Yeah.
So for me, I'm going to go ahead and give this a B.
All right. A B. Can't be better than that. Also, we're running a little behind because of Halloween. We do not have the winner picked out just yet, but we're going to do that very soon here, and we'll have it videoed, and we'll pick someone out as soon as possible. And what else we got?
Dr. Sleep. We
Dr. Sleep.
We actually seen it like a couple days ago, and we recorded it, and
we had an audio failure.
No audio.
Yes, so we got that coming up too. So everyone, thank you for stopping by once again. Make sure to like, subscribe, all that good stuff, so that we can get up to 1,000. We're almost there.
I literally burped.
Oh, good.
I don't know if y'all heard that, but
that's
I was
hell of an ending.
He was doing that, and I'm like...
On that note, everyone, have a good night.
See ya.